Let's welcome in head coach Pete Carroll. So, Coach, let's begin with some status of the players or what you hope to see with A.J. Cole, who went down in the game, and Brock Bowers, who I know is trying to come back.
Yeah, our guys are battling to get back here. We don't have anything for you on Tuesday, but I know AJ wants to kick. He hasn't missed a game in however long, and he says he's going to be able to do it. But we got to wait and see. And so, unfortunately, for the fans that want to know, we want to know too, but we don't have any information yet.
I want to get into Geno and the success you've had with him in the past. I wanted to specifically ask about his mobility, his ability to run out of trouble and get outside the pocket and make throws. Can that help him going forward to get rolling here again?
Yeah, there's no doubt. Those are just free plays when they give them to you. And Geno has a good feel for it. He's not. When we get protection, he's going to hold that football and give himself a chance. Yeah. He's not quick to take off, but he does do it, and he's had some big plays, and he's already shown that some.
You moved on from Jermaine Pratt. What does that say about your next man up mentality going forward?
Yeah, well, we're really excited about changing that format a little bit and get Malcolm to play some more so we can use him off the edge and bring him. Snowden will also step in and do that work. And you'll see us mix the combination of our backers where Jamal will be in there more than he's been.
I want to talk about the maturation process of Thornton and Besh that you could tell our fans behind the scenes. How do they prepare? How do they practice? And how that can go forward and help the team?
The really different backgrounds for the kids. Jack started off at LSU and as a freshman was their leading receiver, and with a bunch of great ones that they had at the time. And so he has a long-term experience. Dante doesn't have that background. He's played sparingly, coming along, still had big numbers to show and tons of potential, but he's a little bit behind in that regard. He just hasn't played as much. So as you see, we continue to try to find ways to get him the football, and we're working it. But it's still a work in progress, and he's trying really hard. Both kids are really good kids, studying and working, and they're being real good rooks on the club. They're respectful and doing all the right things. It's just a matter of time before those guys have a bigger role.
When I went back and looked at the tape, Jeremy Chinn popped in regards to his physicality, sideline to sideline. What'd you see, and what can we expect from him going forward?
Yeah, he's really fast, JT. Yeah. I mean, he can cover ground like crazy. As you saw, the big hit on the sidelines, which was a phenomenal hit and play, and it was clean too. He did it right. We practiced the strike zone hits, and he did it perfect for the teaching tape. So, but we really expect him to show up a lot. He's in a lot of good situations and a lot of good positions where he can make plays.
Indy was really successful on red zone conversions. How do you look at the tape there and clean it up going forward with the zone, what you're trying to do with Patrick Graham?
Yeah, well, we've been pretty good in the red zone up until this game, and these guys ran the ball effectively enough that kind of kept us going run and pass. We have been stopping the run cold down there, and so that put them in a little bit of an advantage throwing footballs. So they mixed it up pretty good. So that's really atypical for what we've shown so far. We've been very good there and counting us doing that. So we got to bounce back and make our plays.
Do you like what you're seeing with the defensive tackle rotation against the run and getting pressure? Could there be changes there, or are they doing what they're supposed to do?
Right now, we're still rotating these guys. We're still trying to get enough information on them to see who can take over a spot. Nobody has really singled themselves out yet. But Tonk has done a nice job playing hard and shows good movement. Pegues is a little different type of player. He's more of a down dirty kind of nose tackle. And then we really don't mind Fotu in there. He's a big kid that we like to play too, so he deserves some play time. So it's a process of just trying to figure out their strengths and see if something singles itself out.
A win is a win in this league, but that win from Tennessee was bizarre out in Arizona. It had everything, and all of their yards came late in the game and in the fourth quarter where Cam Ward got going. So the way they have momentum coming to Allegiant Stadium, let's start with Cam Ward and what you see.
Yeah, well, that game in particular, Arizona was in command of that
Total
game.
Command.
It was like they had the game wrapped up, and then a couple crazy plays happened and turned the fortunes. And good for the Titans. They got a win to get out of there. Cam Ward is a very, very talented kid. He's unorthodox. He'll scramble and to throw. He'll run around. At times he has not run the football very much for the athlete that he is. He really is looking to throw, and he's made some phenomenal plays.
Yeah.
Some plays that you would never be able to script. He's trying to find his consistency. He's not a great completion percentage guy right now. He's in the 50s, which we don't see much of that anymore. Back in the day, Bart Starr and those guys, they complete 52% of their passes. You think that's pretty good? Yeah, they're great. But now he's a little behind that consistency-wise, but he's very dynamic and has the plays in him, and it showed it at the end of that game, when he made a couple great throws.
Ridley and Tyler Lockett, Tyler well. Sure. So they have two veteran receivers there, and they're trying to work in other guys with a young quarterback. What could those veterans do that concern you?
Well, they're entirely different style players. Tyler is a smaller guy, the get-open guy, find the spaces, has a great knack for playing the game. We had a great run together and loved the way he plays. Ridley's more explosive, kind of more versatile. He plays outside and inside, can do a little bit of everything. So the two of those guys give them playmakers, and with the way Cam's been whipping the ball around, they can come up with some plays that can really hurt you.
Jeffrey Simmons has half their sacks, so when you turn the tape on with him, he seems to be a problem.
Yeah, he's a great player. Yeah, he's really big time. People are having trouble from him penetrating. He's really quick, can go from one side of a guard to the other in a second, and just flash in the backfield and make things happen. He's a lot like Max in that regard. He's a very dynamic player. He's unpredictable and very explosive.
I always ask you about the coaches. Brian Callahan, he grew up in this organization. His dad led the Raiders to a Super Bowl. What can you see about the process he's going through? He got his first win, and no doubt about it, he has a lot of leadership from his father and a couple of familiar coaches on that staff.
Yeah, they have a good staff and to support him. It's really hard being a first-time head coach. There's so much going on. There's so much that you can never anticipate, and so you need good support around you. Billy, his dad is a terrific football coach, as you guys know, and can give, if he'll listen, he has the wisdom for him. Right. Sometimes it's a little bit tough, but I think Coach is doing a good job to get their first win. You don't know anything about how they're going to do yet. They're like us, they're just getting started.
What can you share with our fans about your leadership now on the roster when you see this little bit of a slump you're going through here as you try to get a win at home? Can you share with us about some of the leaders? We think of Max and Geno, but other guys who are stepping up that are really impressing you.
Yeah, Devin White has done a really good job of being vocal and being a leader and being a tough guy. Landon Roberts has wisdom. He's been around. Chinn is different. He leads by more quietly, but he leads with his playmaking and his consistency. Zay Palomao on the back end, he really is in charge of making the calls, and the guys really rely on him to be in control. So on that side of the ball, those guys, they're all good voices for us. On the other side of the ball, Colton was a big deal to us, and he was helping us. Michael Marin, Brock, the way they play, like Chinn, they play and lead by their performance. And so, Jacoby has always been a guy that's got the wisdom. He's been around a lot, and he's done a lot of good stuff, but quietly. So Geno was really the big voice on that side.
With Colton being out, when you looked at the tape, did you like what you saw overall with everyone's requirements to step up?
Yeah, Stone did a really nice job in this game. He was very quiet. Last play of the game, they got him, but all the way up until that, he had played very well in the running game. We ran the ball fine up front, and he pass probed just fine. He's a really big, strong kid. He's played a good amount of football. We've seen him for years, and so we know the kid. We know his resolve and his commitment to it. It's very, very strong. He did an excellent job coming off the bench, so we were really happy about that.
When you're coming out of halftime of this game, Eric Allen will be getting his Hall of Fame ring. And you go back with Eric a long time, I know, through an agent, and just knowing that we have another Hall of Famer whose name's going to go up on the wall. Pretty impressive, huh?
It's a great legacy for the Raiders, and for he to get this opportunity, and I loved corners and DBs and all that all my career, and the style that he played with, he was so savvy and showed such great instincts and playmaking ability. He played well beyond his size and shape. He's a small kid for being out there, still is, but he'd cover anybody and would challenge anybody and would come through at any time, and that's why he's going where he's going. He deserves every bit of it. So really proud of him.
Coach, last one. You've been successful at every stage of your life and career. What's your message to the fans as you try to get going again and win this game?
Yeah, I can't believe that we haven't turned it already. It's going to come here, and if anything, we have a living example in what the Aces have just done with their basketball season. They're right down the street from us, and they were able to kind of reset and restart a season and win 16 games in a row and go to the playoffs. And look where they are now. Shoot, they're just a game from being in total command of that series, and so we're holding a really good thought that we're on the right track. Guys are working hard. Their attitude is good. They're rallying for one another. We've got to get rid of the bad plays that are just making it so hard to win. And it's just last week and then this past week, there's just too many plays that are getting away from us, and special teams has to come through in a bigger way. We've got to just make those finishing plays on both sides of the ball, get them out. We played really tough on defense, and then they got to drive on us at the end, the one that they needed. Geno took us right down, put us in game-winning situation. We need to capitalize on that and get the kick. So we're just an eyelash from being 2 more wins. And so we got to get this thing rolling, and hopefully it turns this week. We're ready right now.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, JT.